My sister deleted my app's code before a billion-dollar meeting. So I rewrote it better and made her regret it forever. My name is Noah, and for 2 years I lived and breathed Nexus, a social media app designed to connect artists and creators in a way no other platform could. I coded it in my bedroom, surviving on instant noodles and a vision. My family, however, never saw the vision. They saw a delusion. My older sister Hannah was the worst. She'd constantly mock my little hobby, while my parents would sigh and ask when I was going to get a real job at a stable company. After 2 years of relentless work, I finally had a breakthrough. I secured a meeting with Apex Ventures, one of the most prestigious and ruthless venture capital firms in the world. This was my one shot. The meeting was on a Monday morning. On Sunday evening, I decided to do one final compile check on the codebase. I opened my project directory and my heart stopped. It was empty. The core repository, the crucial algorithms, the user interface libraries, everything was gone. A cold, numb terror seized me. I frantically checked the trash bin. Empty. I checked my cloud backups. They had been disconnected and the local copies deleted. This was a targeted malicious attack. I ran into the living room, my voice shaking. My parents were watching TV with Hannah. I said, "My code. The entire Nexus project is gone. Someone deleted it?" Hannah didn't even look away from the screen. A smug smile played on her lips. Hannah said, "Oh, that silly little game you were working on?" I cleared some space on the family computer. It was just taking up memory. It's not like it was going to be worth anything anyway. My father finally looked at me, his expression one of profound disappointment. My father said, "Noah, it's for the best. You're wasting your youth on these fantasies. Hannah did you a favor. Now you can focus on something practical." My mother just shook her head. My mother said, "Please don't start a fight. It's over. Just let it go." In that moment, standing in the doorway of the living room, I felt something inside me break and then immediately reforge into something harder and sharper. Their dismissal was a fuel. Hannah's sabotage was a declaration of war. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just looked at my sister, memorizing the triumph in her eyes. I said, "You have no idea what you've just done." I turned around, went back to my room, and locked the door. I had less than 12 hours. Most of the code was gone, but the architecture, the logic, the brilliant solutions, they were all still in my head. It was a clean slate, and I realized something. My first version was good, but it was cluttered with my early amateur mistakes. This was a chance to build it pure, to build it better. I opened a new IDE and my hands flew across the keyboard. It wasn't just rewriting, it was a rebirth. I streamlined algorithms I now knew were inefficient. I designed a cleaner, more intuitive UI. The pressure forged a diamond out of coal. As the sun rose, I typed the final line of code. I had done it. I had not just recreated Nexus. I had built Nexus 2.0, a product that was leagues beyond what I had lost. I walked into the Apex Ventures meeting room on no sleep, running on pure adrenaline and conviction. The lead partner, a famously stern woman named Ms. Evans, was initially skeptical. But when I demoed the app, her expression changed. She saw the elegant code, the fluid interface, the revolutionary core concept. Ms. Evans said, "This is exceptional. The architecture is brutally efficient. We've seen 1,000 social media pitches. This is the first one that's truly new in a decade." 2 hours later, I walked out with a term sheet for a $5 billion valuation, securing the funding to launch globally. The news broke in the tech blogs by the afternoon. Unknown coder lands historic deal with Apex. I arrived home to a completely different atmosphere. My parents were waiting in the living room, their faces a mixture of shock and a desperate newfound pride. My father said, "Noah, son, we saw the news. 5 billion? We knew you had it in you. We were just trying to motivate you, to make you stronger." My mother said, "Yes. We always believed in you. We were just worried, that's all." I looked at them, then at Hannah, who was hiding in the corner, her face pale with shame and fear. I felt nothing for them, no anger, no hate. Just a vast empty space where my family used to be. I said, "You knew I could do it. You believed in me?" I walked over to my sister. "Hannah, when you deleted my code, you told me it was worthless. Mom, Dad, you said she did me a favor. You didn't motivate me. You tried to break me. The only reason I succeeded is because I fought you every bit as much as I fought that code. I had already packed a bag that morning. I picked it up from behind my door. My father said, 'Where are you going?' This is a time for family celebration. I said, I'm going to my new apartment. I closed on it this morning. You can celebrate the family you wished you had. I'm going to go build the future I always knew I could. I walked out of that house and never looked back. I used the initial funding to buy a penthouse with a view of the city, a constant reminder of how far I had come from that suffocating bedroom. The lesson was brutal but simple. Sometimes, the greatest motivation comes from those who doubt you the most, and the greatest freedom comes from walking away from the people who try to hold you down. But Hannah's jealousy wasn't so easily left behind. A year later, she emerged with a shocking interview, claiming she was the co-creator of Nexus and that I had stolen her ideas. The legal and media battle that followed threatened to undermine everything I had built from the ashes of her sabotage. If you want to see how I proved my sole ownership and silenced her for good, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tap the notification bell, because the story of how I defended my legacy is even more incredible. My legacy is even more incredible.